Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. We're out here floating around Sunrise Beach. If this is an area that you're interested in, or you're curious about, or you're potentially wanting to move to or buy in, we wanted to shoot a quick video, tell you some things about it like normal. I made the attempt this morning to hop in the boat and drive down to this area, and I know it's tricky because you can't see much and it's super foggy right now. So very sketchy kind of ride down here. Probably borderline, shouldn't have done it, but I've been trying to do different things or get creative on this channel, and obviously now that it's summertime, I always want to hop in the boat and kind of hang out in these areas. And so down here in Sunrise Beach, it's super foggy. I have to hang out close to the shoreline, otherwise like I don't even know where I'm going. So could probably do a video on just navigating the lake, especially in like tricky weather or rain, or obviously this morning it's super foggy. So if you don't know it by now, I typically shoot these videos super early in the morning before the kiddos and the family get up, and been trying to get out on the water a little bit more, but wanted to come down to Sunrise Beach because normally when we're talking, that's a popular question, like what is Sunrise Beach and where is it, and tell me about it, and is there actually a beach? And so no, not to disappoint anybody, but Sunrise Beach is not a beach destination. You're not going to have like this amazing beach that you're going to travel to or any of that kind of stuff. It's just the name of this area, but it's a unique area in depending on where you're talking about living or wanting to explore. And the reason I say that is we'll show you here on a map, and let's pull up a map of this area. You have the lake. When you're looking at the lake, I always refer to it as this ancient Chinese dragon, the head, neck, belly, legs of the dragon. Sunrise Beach is a kind of like a north and south rectangle, and the top of the rectangle kind of hits the neck of the dragon, where the bottom of the rectangle kind of hits to the beginning of the tail of the dragon. And depending on what you're looking at in Sunrise Beach, those are two very different areas of this lake. And we know from number one, a convenience factor, being close to amenities and grocery stores and those kinds of things. Being out on the waterways is also very important, right? Depending on what type of boating you want to do, you know, skiing and tubing and floating with the family, or you're trying to fish, or you got big power boats, like it just depends. That head, neck, belly area we know is very popular. A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, a lot of congestion, a lot of boats, right? A lot of waves and those kinds of things. So if you're looking at Sunrise Beach and you're pulling up addresses or you're searching and you get up on that northern side of Sunrise, that's going to be a busier waterway than if you were on the southern side of it. You come down to the southern side, it's a little bit more calmer. It is still very popular waterway right there, right? You still have a lot of things in that area, a lot of people passing by, just not as much. So pros and cons, yays or nays, like it just depends on who you are, what you're looking for. But Sunrise Beach, again, it's a northern rectangle that covers a unique area of the lake, different shorelines, and so just kind of different pros and cons on what you're looking for versus what Sunrise Beach offers. Another few things with Sunrise Beach is going to be like proximity to grocery stores and the hospital and those kinds of things. You are starting to get further away from amenities, right? You are going to start to have more of a drive distance. If you're looking to relocate and you have a family and kiddos in school, and you're talking about going to Osage or Camdenton, you are 100% going to be in a longer drive time than you would if you were in those kind of areas, Camdenton or somewhere up and down Highway 54. Sunrise Beach is now on the west side of the lake. Once you get on the west side of the lake, right, the majority of the amenities are on the east side. So drive time and travel time and those kinds of things start to come into play. There are only so many bridges that will cross the lake. And so you're either crossing it up towards kind of the upper belly area of the lake, you're crossing it towards kind of the legs. Like there's only so many places. And so drivability around here is going to be super important. And when you're looking at the lake from a distance and you're like, oh, this road goes that way and this one's that way, and it's not too far of a distance, you realize that everything around here it's a tricky terrain, right? You are driving in the Ozark mountain range, and so it's hilly, it's curvy, it's slower than normal, right? There is not a whole lot of like flat gridded roads around here. Nothing is that way. So understand that when you're coming down and you're looking at a map thinking, oh, I'm gonna live here and I'm gonna drive here, and you realize that that takes you maybe 45 minutes. So Sunrise Beach is gonna be a little bit off of the beaten path, a little bit further of a drive, probably roughly 30 minutes to kind of any direction you wanna go. However, Sunrise Beach is kind of close to Laurie. And Laurie isn't a town, it doesn't have a downtown kind of area, but it is a strip of road that has a ton of amenities. So you will have grocery stores and gas stations and hardware stores and a lot of amenities in Laurie that you're able to get to if you live in that Sunrise Beach area. So you don't have to go all the way to Osage Beach or all the way to Camdenton. You could just go and hit Laurie for some of those like smaller things. Not gonna have major retail stores like the Lowe's or Home Depots or Walmarts or Targets. It's not gonna have that, but it is gonna have enough like daily amenities that you can just kind of cruise over there and get it. But rambling a little bit, the point of that is like, hey, you're not super close to amenities. You're choosing Sunrise Beach to have a little bit of separation, to have some distance, a little bit of elbow space. Pros and cons, just depends on what it is that you're looking for. You know, some other things that are great about Sunrise Beach is this right here, right? It can be very calm, very chill, very peaceful. And maybe you're looking for a second home, a vacation home, a little home away from the congestion and chaos of your current home, right? Like Sunrise Beach could be a very good option for you. And what you get when you're in this area is probably a little bit more locals, right? A little bit more local feel, more year-rounders that are in this area. So maybe again, able to build some community and roots. There's definitely going to be some second homes, right? There's going to be some investment opportunities kind of in this area. And I think the reason for that is because cost and affordability starts to open up a lot more when you get in this area. You can for sure go anywhere on this lake and find a 7-figure home, but when you get into Sunrise Beach, you're gonna have a little bit more of affordability. You're going to have more options in that kind of mid-hundreds range. You're for sure gonna be looking at more single-family homes. The condo community in this area, there are condos, there are choices and options, just not as many as there are up in the, you know, head, neck, belly area, the Osage Beach and Village of Four Seasons Peninsula. Like, there's a lot of them up there. If you're looking for a condo and some separation, there are going to be some choices and options down here in Sunrise, but not as many. You will have more single family homes, a little bit more affordability, right? And of course that affordability comes because you have a little bit of separation from town. So good choices, good options. Again, not a lot of congestion, a little bit of a chiller, calmer kind of waterways. The roadways for sure are also going to be less congested and packed. When you get on the east side of the lake and you're running up and down Highway 54, you know, it's a lot of tourism, it's a lot of traffic, it's a lot of people trying to go places and grocery store, all that stuff, right? That's where the outsiders kind of come into play, and they kind of hang out in that area. When you get over on the east side, and especially in the Sunrise area, there's just less of it. You still have congestion in certain things. There's just less outside tourism kind of up and down this area. So that for sure can be a pro. Again, the con is you're a little bit more separated from those amenities. Whew. I'm just gonna move the boat a little bit that way and get back in the shade. All right, guys, so I hope that was helpful a little bit. You know, I wanted to try to show the location of what Sunrise Beach is. You know, as you're looking online, and if you're interested in Sunrise and you kind of type that in, you're gonna have two different areas of the lake, the northern side of it and the southern side. And so again, that northern side is gonna be a little bit more congestion, a little more chaos, busier waterways, busier boats, but also way closer to a lot of those bars and restaurants and a lot of the fun and the activities of Lake of the Ozarks. And why people like to be in this area is because they want to go and explore all of those things. They want to be close to the action and the fun, and again, they want to hop on a boat and go and cruise and check out these bars and restaurants with their friends and their families. Like, being up in that area is actually really cool. And I think a lot of you know by now, like, we're further away. So I think the next video I'll talk about living down the 40 and the 50 mile marker, right? Like, when you get to my neck of the woods, you are for sure extended from a lot of those things. There are still some bars and some restaurants and some choices, just certainly not as many. Like, when you're up in that upper part of Sunrise Beach and you can gain access to the Bagnell Dam and the Strip and that whole area up there, like, you could just go dock and walk around, and there's car shows and boat shows and bike shows and all sorts of things that happen on that strip. Well, instead of driving over there, you can just jump on your boat and go, right? When you live this far away, or if you're at the southern part of Sunrise Beach, it's going to take you longer. It's going to be a further boat ride. So depending on what type of boat you have, depends on, I don't know, whether or not you're going to want to make that ride. For me, on my boat, we're not doing that. I can't go that far. It would take too long, and especially once you get up into those bigger waves and bigger waters, like, it's not gonna be a fun ride. So anyway, if you're in that northern part, you are for sure close to a lot of amenities on the waterway, and obviously a little bit closer to the amenities once you get off the waterway. You separate yourself towards that southern part of Sunrise Beach, you're a little bit of a further drive time, so a little further to Camdenton, Osage Beach. You do have Lori right there, which can be convenient with some amenities and some things, but you're choosing a little bit more separation. You want a little bit more space, and that's perfectly fine, right? Again, we're even further than Sunrise Beach, so we're another 10 miles down the lake when we get to our area, and I'll talk about on the next video on what it's like to live at the 40, the 50 mile marker and what to kind of expect. But the further kind of away you get, the more separation you have from, obviously amenities, but obviously some tourism, some congestion on the water, congestion on the roadways. And so it's really just depending on who you are, what you're looking for. Are you permanently relocating with your family, and do you need to be close to the school districts and those kinds of things? This might not be the area. If you're retiring and you're looking to move down here and you got to be close to the medical facilities and the hospital, like, might not be the best area. But if you're okay with a little drive time and you're okay with a little bit of separation from those conveniences, then this could be a really great spot, because it is calm, it is chill, it's peaceful. It's kind of like another little world down here. So we like it for those things, right? Because we just have young kiddos, right? So we're not looking for the scene or to be close to all of that stuff. We're okay with a little bit of separation, but to each his own, and obviously that's who you are and what you're looking for. So those are the things that we can help you with. Not only shoot these videos and try to give you perspective on where we are on the lake, and again, all those pros and cons, but when we have a chance to connect with you, I want to answer your questions and dig a little deeper and feed you some information that you might not have known about, and connect you to my business partner, Michael. He's been down here for 50 years and literally knows every inch of this lake. And so those are the resources that we're trying to provide for you. We know you're shopping from a distance. From a distance can be tricky. So make sure you do your homework. Do me a favor and reach out and let us help you. So call me, email me, text me, jump on a Zoom call with me. Obviously, we would love to host you. So come into town, come hang out, let us drive you around, jump on the boat and go and cruise around and show you these areas. Whatever we can do to help you out, that's what we're looking to do. So I love these videos. I love more to connect with you. So reach out, let me do that. And until then, we'll see you guys on the next video.